This is, I'll call it an intro to this kind of work. We're going to hit a lot of different things in a relatively short amount of time. We're going to look at grips offensively and defensively. We're going to look at striking as grip offense, striking as grip defense. Not a ton of grip fighting this time, maybe a little bit for next time. We're going to look at some throws and takedowns using clothing, and then some, as Ted said, strangleholds for the apparel as well. Most of this will be from standing tonight. We may do a couple things on the ground. Most of it will be from standing. We will pull out the crash pad and hit some pretty big throws off of these sleeve and lapel grabs as well. All of this is some form or fashion from judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, but taking more traditional gi kind of work and plugging it in for jackets, hoodies, in some cases even t-shirts. And we'll talk about the limitations and restrictions. Questions before we get started? So we're going to start with some just basic form the extra apparel.
Okay.
We'll have some kind of translation into that work later. So
yeah, no, from our side there's sound, but from their side we cannot hear it.
I'm gonna make the drag, and as I do the step pivot and get outside of Sheeran's elbows, the hand is dragging, so my right hand is dragging above the elbow. My left hand is going to switch and run that across the body. Okay, so I'm using this C-clamp Lego man hand kind of grip just above the elbow and push it across. So he gives me the same thing on the other side. I make my drag. As I step pivot, I'm going to switch my hands. So now my left hand is making the drag. My right hand is doing the clear. And then my right hand is going to switch and run his elbow across. Okay, so it'll look something like this. Okay, just I think for now, just have one side feeding and the other side working. So one side the whole time is making the drag, and then the elbow post, elbow pass, and then I will switch you. Are you working in? Okay, so we'll have equal numbers. So one side's feeding, I'll switch. All right, on 3. Woo!
It's not on us. I don't know, man. Like,
we're literally.
Yeah, we can hear you from here.
Great, so the other side work.
Okay. Okay, Amber, I can hear in this one. I'm just.
okay, good.
I'll have the look. We have a giant screen in. Oh, okay, cannot see. No, wait. Just so that you know what's happening around here. See, we have a giant screen.
That's cool.
Okay.
And now no audio.
Yeah, and the folks are over. Yeah, exactly. So we can use the audio from here. Cool.
Good deal. Got it.
30 seconds.
Yes, and I don't know how Oh, yeah, next year, and she's like, oh, I have to do this thing, and I'm like.
Good time. Okay, staying with these warm-up drills. We go head clear, so often single collar tie. And look, we'll get to these things from different places. First one is one I think probably most of us are familiar with. I'm just gonna bring my shoulder to my ear, hip and shoulder come across. Like I'm throwing a lead hook. This. I'm gonna feed his hand, his wrist, his forearm to my opposite hand. My face is gonna look off to the side, so his arm has somewhere to go. And for now, I'm just catching this undergrip, go hairline to jawline. You finish in this Russian tie, Russian arm position. Uh, if you do this part, you should end up with this undergrip because I want to feed it straight to this hand. I don't want to go chasing it. So I'm not going here and then switching the grip because I like an overgrip. The grip that I have is the one that I'm going to keep for now. I should be outside of Sharon's elbows. He should be very much inside of mine. My hairline to jawline looking across his chest, not at the floor. Somewhere near the wrist, somewhere near the shoulder, body on the arm. Okay? I think we can go left-right switch on this one. So Sharon gives me one, boom. Gives me two, boom. And then I do the same. And we'll just keep switching back and forth like that. All right? Oh, three. Woo!
Like shape. On that, before you take down. Or that's so important. One correctly, one like, that. Good. I'll say, I'm trying to. Small shapes. Yeah, I get like lashes on me.
20 seconds.
We're good here. I know.
Good time. Questions here? So staying with these collar ties. This time I'm gonna go outside elbow pass. So that same C-clamp Lego man hand that we were doing earlier on the arm drag, my hand is on the outside above the elbow, thumb up. I'm pushing the elbow to the inside. So if we just kind of stand straight up and down like this, and I don't do anything except this part right now. As I push this elbow in, see what starts to happen? It starts to flare his hand out and off of my head, okay? So I push this in. As I start to release a little bit of this grip, I'm gonna take my head away from Sheeran and then forward. So he makes that grab, I'm doing this outside elbow pass here. Now, for our purposes, tonight, I might stay here. I might move all the way to the back. I might go right back into that Russian arm that we just did, okay? I'm less worried about the point of reference right now. Let's get this elbow pass. He makes the grab, C-clamp, Lego man hand above the elbow. I push the elbow in. I'm going to pop my head away and then forward here. Okay? Get his elbow to collapse to the inside so it starts to peel his hand off of my head. So it's not a lot of effort for me to then get out of that. Make sense? Questions? Back and forth? Or... Yeah, let's go left, right switch again. Okay? 4, 3. Woo!
The problem was, I was doing the neck from right myself, so I didn't do this. Or throw myself backwards and run with my arm. So I was like, I can do this. was doing it right if it was a person born with it. Okay, so that kind of, I was doing it manually. So that was.
Okay, Pat, let's look at this one a little bit more. So there's some small things in here that are gonna matter, and I'll do this from a couple different angles. I'm intentionally, first of all, it's the outside hand, right? So the one that's outside of Sharon's elbow, that's the one I'm using. I'm intentionally going 4 fingers down and thumb up. Okay. I'm intentionally making it to where if Sharon feels like there's a path of least resistance, it's up towards the thumb, not down towards the palm and the 4 fingers. Okay. By keeping my elbow in like this is a relatively strong position for me, and I don't really give much up. If I go 4 fingers up, let's change that. Yes. So thumb up, this is where my structure is. 4 fingers up, this is where my structure is. I'm out here and I get all this space. Okay. So if I go to collar tie Sheeran and he goes to do this and do it wrong, like that. Okay. All of this space that opens up gives me a place to go. If he does it properly, like that, there's no space for me. And so if my hand is going to go anywhere, my arm is going to go anywhere as an escape, it's going to go up and away. Well, that just opens up more space for Sheeran. Okay. So I'm intentionally going 4 fingers down, thumb up. Like this. Okay. And then for our purposes, that will be a headbutt. And we're going to drill headbutts from this place in a minute. But just keep in mind, that will be a headbutt. Right now, we're just kind of owning that headspace, but it will be a headbutt. Okay. All right. 0-3. Woo! Good, Ty. We're gonna look at one more from here, and then we'll start kind of putting some of this stuff together. So Sharon makes that same collar tie grab, and look, we're just looking at some different options. It's not going to materialize exactly like this when we start talking about the clothing and the apparel, but the principles will remain. This time I'm going inside elbow pass, so it's the same thing that I did here, but it's coming with the other hand. Okay, still thumb up, 4 fingers down this way. Now, obviously, if it's self-defense context, I have to be mindful of this hand and what it's doing, and that may dictate me going one way versus another, right? If we're talking about clothing and whatever, I may even grab this sleeve and pin this sleeve here as I go past to the outside, okay? But for now, we're going to go past to the inside, this. I'm going to go from this inside elbow pass, I'm going to follow the space that I've created. I'm just going to kind of track up Sharon's arm. There's my headbutt. And now we've got this single underhook here, and then far side bicep or wrist tie. Okay. So he makes that collar grab here, inside elbow pass, thumb up, 4 fingers down. I'm going to pop this out, and then the space that I make, I'm going to fill with my body. This should be a headbutt. Be careful. But I'm going to take my hairline and run straight to his jawline here. Boom. The other hand should be going far side bicep and then to the wrist tie, or straight to the wrist tie if you can get there. We talk about wrist ties real fast. Ideally, it's my index finger and thumb or my middle finger and thumb, not my pinky finger and thumb, okay? This gives me more real estate on the hand itself, as does this. This gives me no control over the hand. It's a lot easier for him to do a wrist release here. If I can get more hand, this is much harder for him to just simply release, okay? Again, on the hairline to jawline, I should be head up, looking across my partner's body, not looking at the floor, okay? Questions? Inside elbow pass, underhook. 1-3. Woo!
I just don't like to.
Time, real fast. If I go here, this, and I get to here, and I can't get the wrist or the bicep, then I don't need it. Okay. If I'm going to stay here for any amount of time, and we're actually in a fight, at some point, Sharon's probably going to want to do something with that hand. Whether he's going to grab me or try to punch me or whatever. Okay, so if I'm monitoring here and he goes to do one of those things here, or I can check the inside bicep, pin that, go to the wrist. But if he's like, this arm's out in space because he doesn't want me to get it, okay, I don't need it. I'm not going to chase it. Okay, at some point, he'll make a decision to do something with that, and then I can secure it if I need to, if I'm here long enough, right? Because I mean, once I get here, I may run multiple headbutts and start working my little inside trips and whatnot. So I'm not going to hang out here. But I also don't want to think about, oh, Ryan said get bicep tie, wrist tie, I better go chase that thing. If it's not there, you don't need it. Okay? He's got a whole lot of other things that we can work with. All right? Maybe one more minute. 1-3. Woo!
Not as long as you think.
I thought that part was happening.
Like, yeah. You're like,
I will not be doing a lot of headbutts in anything.
doing a lot of winning.
If I get here first, that gives me one now.
Oh, is that all? Okay.
I mean,
All right, time. Okay, so let's go ahead and go, whatever hoodie, top, whatever you're planning on wearing just for grips and grabs and things. We're gonna look at this
Get
from a
your-
little bit more offensive standpoint to start with.
Get your hoodies, whatever. Can't tell if they can hear.
I had to dig this out.
Look at that.
We're gonna throw on some more gear here in a minute, but we'll start with just this, and we're gonna go back to some of the stuff that we kind of started drilling with initially. So if Sharon starts feeding the arm drags, and I'm doing the arm drag, and before we were going here, and I was switching to that Lego Man C-clamp grip, very similar. As I make this drag and I pull this across, I'm gonna go here. Okay, I'm just getting this pistol or joystick grip. All right, so instead of this, I'm doing this. I'm bunching up all this material, and then I'm going to run that across him this way. Okay, so he feeds the drag. I make the drag. As I drag now and I switch my grips, this is the grip that I'm looking to get. Okay, but if I miss it, I miss it. It is what it is. But and obviously, the tighter the clothing, the harder it will be to get. The looser the clothing, the easier it will be to get. Principally, it's the same thing though, right? I'm just not C-clamping anymore. I'm going to get an actual grip and grab of the cloth of the material, and then I'm going to run it across his body this way. Okay, I want to have this kind of frame here to make it difficult for him to just turn into me. Okay, and it's if you think of it like, for those of us old enough, like a joystick. Okay, I don't think those are a thing. Pistol grip also works, right? I like joystick because the joystick is designed to control a thing. So this is designed to control him. All right. Questions? I think we switch left, right, back and forth. Okay. 4-3. Woo!
Still drive stick shifts.
Yeah, there you go. Same thing.
These, I currently have. Yeah, that one won't be out there. Different. Yes. Okay. You're not going. I don't. Also, please.
Time.
One side get focus bits, and the other side, if you have small gloves, get them. If you don't, it's okay. Just don't punch one in the face, please.
Mitts and small gloves. Mitts and small gloves.
If you don't have small gloves, just don't punch one in the face.
Mitts and small gloves. There's a delay. I'm guessing that's what's going on.
Okay, so we're gonna start the same way. And at first, I'm not gonna be super prescriptive with the work. I'm just gonna kind of let us free flow a little bit, and then I'm gonna kind of plug it into a series. So you're still just feeding an arm drag, even with a mid. I'm gonna make the same arm drag as before. I'm gonna look to get this grip if I can, and then I'm just gonna kind of touch up the pad a little bit. Okay, so it could be here. If Sheeran moves the mid, gives me something underneath maybe. I'm here, just kind of like hockey punching now, but I've got the sleeve grip instead. Again, I'm going to give you something very prescriptive here in a minute, but I just want you to kind of play and just get a feel for some of the options, some of the things that might be available to me as I'm working this. Okay, being able to keep control, being able to keep that pressure, keep him moving while I'm hitting. All right, I'm going to run a series in a second, but just right now, just play. Okay, 4-3. Woo!
Oh, not following the law. Whoa, got stabbed.
You were already dead. I'll call your parents, I guess.
Never killed her, sorry about that.
Well, we have waivers, so, you know, like.
Your mom would be a little upset.
But I would be like, well, I mean, I guess I would. No, that is probably worse. When it come on the mat, when you first pop it back, I'm like, you're shutting it down. I think it's that easy, do it yourself. Watching the tile.
Good, time. Don't switch, don't switch.
Time, don't switch. Time.
Questions here? Okay, so, see, the same thing, I make the drag, I get this same, joystick pistol kind of grip here. Again, maybe I'm throwing multiple shots, and maybe that's enough, maybe that's all I need, okay? But I'm gonna try to force his weight to that far side leg, and as I do, my back leg is gonna look to block here, okay? I'm just hooking behind and inside this. I'm pulling for a high ankle. If I don't get it, I don't get it. I may go far side trip too. This, boom. I switch my grip. Multiple shots, boom. And I may not even need this here, but I usually do it anyway, just kind of as a redundancy to make sure that I've got it. I need him to be heavy there so he's light here. As I continue to push this, I'm gonna block here. I'm gonna bring this to me as I go to it at the same time. Okay. If he doesn't fall, it's okay. I'm gonna cinch it all the way up underneath my armpit. Okay. So, trying to stay upright. Yep. So get here, boom. I'm throwing multiple shots. I hook. I change my level. As I come back out of this level change, I'm gonna bring this all the way to my armpit and stand up. Here. The more hopping I get from Sharon, the better. Now from here, I can continue to run this across, or I can keep moving him. I think we'll be in frame. I can keep moving him in the same leg that did that first trip, can do the second. Okay. One more time. Drag, pistol grip, hockey punch, trip, high ankle. Questions? If you don't know back fall breaks, go really easy, really light with this. Okay, you don't even have to take your partner down. If you just get that ankle pick. Questions? Use the punching to set up the wrestling. 1, 3. Woo!
Watch it. I'll leave you. It's all right. I mean, you're probably. Go ahead. Yeah, grab that. Grab all you have.
30 seconds. All right, time. Let's switch. Let your partner start with this, that light prescriptive or non-prescriptive work. Just play a little bit. Give them a target, let them hit it. Arm drag. Just find a couple of shots. Reset. Get arm drag on the other side. So no trips, no takedowns.
You guys heard, we're switching it up. Other side's working now, switch it up. Start with just the punches. Yeah, switch. Just the punches, no takedown.
Wake up.
Sweat all over you.
Couldn't be now. Yeah, right in the corner. They didn't want
Go ahead, time. So let's go to the trip. So we're going to a little trip. He posts. I make the drag. I get the grip. I throw a couple of shots. I'm gonna go the foot that's closest, that's behind, is gonna make this little trip here. It's really just a block mostly. I want to push him heavy that way and just block this one. I make a level change. Go get that ankle here. Okay. Now, real world, realistically, I want to pick this thing all the way up into my arm pit and get him hopping. I can continue to run punches here. Boom, boom, run him that way. Little trip. Okay? Questions? Well, three. Woo!
You do this.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, my therapist.
We're all the opposite, right?
I was gonna do.
It goes down. That's the only way. I'm on the left side, but every other.
All right, switch back, please. Switch.
Time, switch it on back. Switch it back. Switch it back. Rubik's Cube, switch it.
And look, there are a lot of variations and versions of that, like, and ways of finishing that takedown. But I want to hit a lot of different things in the next hour and 15 or whatever we have left. But if you're struggling to finish that takedown for whatever reason, know that there are a bunch of other options. A lot of times, if it's hard to finish from here, it's that maybe somebody's a lot taller than you, so I'm not getting a lot of bounce from them, and then that may necessitate me doing something else, okay? Once I've got that high ankle, high single like that, there are a lot of different ways to finish that takedown though. So if I'm struggling to finish, just know that. You can always go back to punching them in the face too, right? Because this arm is occupied here, but this one is wide open. I'm outside their elbows, they're on one foot, and I can continue to just run big shots over the top, okay? So if I'm struggling, I'm probably not going to keep chasing that takedown. I'll go back to hitting, and then maybe I try to change the takedown off. Okay. So if we look at maybe a variation of the grip we just did, or if we plug it into some of the different hecklers that we did before, it doesn't really matter how we get here. But if we go to a head clear this way, and I make the first one here where I bring my shoulder to my ear and I run across, or even that outside elbow pass like this, I'm going to bring Sheeran's arm across the front of his body this way. And now instead of just grabbing the wrist, I'm going to grab the sleeve if I can. Okay. If I don't get it, I don't get it. It is what it is. Even if I slip and I miss this, I don't have anything. Okay, well then I go back to hitting him. I'm outside of his elbows. He's going to have to make an adjustment, right? But ideally, what I'm looking for is as I clear this, I get the grip on the sleeve. Okay, so now before we're this, now we're this. By the way, I could get it from this same place. If I went here, I made the drag, and I had this pistol grip, I threw a couple punches, and I decided I wanted to switch the grip, it's easy enough. Because I've mostly immobilized what the mobility, yeah, that's what he can do with his arm. Not a whole lot else he can do. Okay, so if I decide I want or I need to switch, maybe I carry an eye for a pistol or something. Not in Jersey, I know you guys are screwed. But here in America, I have the ability to carry these other things. I'll show them to you sometime if you come down. So if I want to switch and use this hand for my Second Amendment rights, I go here, and then I can do this. But in New Jersey, what you could do is you carry a rose here. And so when you switch your hands like this, you pull that rose out and hand it to them and pray they don't sue you. Cool? All right. So anyway, I could still do this off of the drag. I make this grip. I hit him. Boom. I switch my hands. Boom. Right back to here. Okay? So I don't really care how we get out here on the end of the sleeve, but that's what we're going to work on for right now. I can run multiple shots here. I can even go 2 on like this if I was looking to make really big throws, trips, whatever, okay? But we're going to operate out here. I can punch over the top. I can punch underneath. I can headbutt here. I can mirror lock. Bang, pop this elbow. I pull this into me as I punch here, okay? Be super careful with your partners with this because that arm's not going anywhere except where it's not supposed to go. I'm pulling this back to me, and I'm bicep punching above the elbow here. Bang. Okay? So however you get here, Boom, I get my grip, I'm running punches, maybe I run headbutts. We're gonna transition to a different takedown here in a minute. Let's operate from this grip first, okay? If you go off the drag, you're gonna make the drag, you get the grip you just had, throw a shot, switch the grip, throw a shot.
The wrist grip doesn't matter if you're over or under as much.
I'll take what I can get. Personally, I would like to be over because it allows me to grab more material normally in a way that I'm stronger. This. But like on this one, you're almost for sure gonna end up more under, which is fine. And I can even roll it over the top and now I end up over. Other questions? All right, let's drill it. Either from the head clear or from the arm drag, and if you want to drill it from both, that's fine. Once that's feeding, the other side is working. All right, oh, 3.
Woo!
Okay.
Two more solutions, right? Two more entrances.
Yeah, you're switching your grip now and punching with the other hand.
Okay.
But it would not.
Okay, time. All right, don't switch. We're just gonna get a little more prescriptive here.
Time, don't
Okay.
switch, don't switch yet, time.
On this one, it probably just for the sake of some continuity and make sure you're getting good reps, it probably makes sense just to drill it off of one side. I'll leave it to you, but we're gonna hit this from a couple of different places, so it's probably gonna make sense just to drill it off of one side. But again, I'll leave that to you. So if he feeds the dragger, again, the hip there, whatever, however I get there. Maybe I start here, I run my punches, I switch my grip, I run my punches, I hit that mirror lock, punch over the top, maybe I headbutt. We're gonna hit a version of a valley drop from 2 different ways here, okay? So I've run my shots, maybe I've busted his elbow here, I've run my headbutt. I'm gonna push this across his body to his far side hip. Okay. My other hand is gonna follow my foot. I'm gonna step here. I'm gonna grab either the sleeve or somewhere near the lat, okay, whatever I can get. If I can't get either one of those, I'll grab what I can grab, okay? But I'm pushing this across this way. I'm reaching around sleeve or somewhere near the lat. That same side that steps and reaches, I'm gonna go straight leg, okay? If you think about this leg as a hockey stick, and it's gonna block that foot here. Boom. Here. I'm gonna sit. As I sit, I'm pulling the sleeve and the other sleeve and or near the lat towards the floor, doing this. Okay? I'll show this from a couple of different angles. But I still have the grips when we hit. Okay? So change the angle for a second. I still have these grips. So the top one I'm gonna punch down and I switch the hands. Okay? I'm going to this gift wrap, but I'm using the clothing to do it. So same side but different angle. I make my drag. I get one grip, bang, I switch to the other grip, bang. however many you want to do here. I punch this across. I'm going to step behind, and my hand and my arm are going to work together. So my right hand, my right leg, I said hand and arm, hand and leg are going to work together. As I reach around to grab what I can grab, this foot is going to reach around and be the hockey stick to block that foot. So I'm going to do this slow here. Now I'm literally going to sit down. The tendency is to want to bend this leg, keep it straight. If you keep this leg straight and you sit straight down, they'll go over your leg, not on top of it. Okay? Start slow, be easy with it. Here. I'm going to pull to the floor as I sit to my butt. I continue to pull because I want him to go this way. Here. Now, the good thing is, 9 times out of 10, he'll try to roll away from me in his scramble. I'm going to let him. I'm going to help him. I'm going to assist him. Because that's our Southern hospitality. As he goes to go belly down, I'm going to punch this to the floor. I go chest to back. Switch the grip. He gave me a mid, but his face was right there. I don't know. It just seemed right. Okay. I still have sleeve here, but if you get wrist, that's fine. Okay. Questions? I know it's a lot. We're going to spend several minutes here. Okay. So if you have questions, ask. If you need to see it again, ask. We're going to get a lot of reps on this one. Okay. If we need to see it again, thumbs up. If you need to see it again. One more? Okay. I'll do one more from both angles. Switch. And look, if I switch and I've got both for a moment in time, that's fine. But see, look, I can still knee, boom, knee, headbutt, boom, kick, boom. All these things are still available to me. Push this across here. Now the cool thing about this is he's gonna want it to go there anyway. As soon as I do this, he wants to pull that arm back and give it to him. Leg is straight, arm is behind it. Grab the sleeve if I can get it. As I sit straight to my butt, I'm pulling him. Questions? Good? Go do it about 8,000 times. 3. Woo!
I'd be honest with something else. See, you open my when I start pushing you, and then you do fight when I start doing. I don't push it. Fight everything. I'm gonna push you into that wall, and you don't let me. Okay, that's the only way to get to you. It's only normally my body doesn't let me. I know, but that's why I have to do the other part. Well, I'll just leave that at this, but I just didn't. That way works. I just put myself on.
Okay, time.
Time,
So
time. Oh,
this happens a lot in training, where one side knows what's going to happen, and I think most of the time it's unintentional. If you know that they're going to try to take you down backwards, you start kind of hip hinging forward, so your weight, your energy goes forward. Well, if I get to here with Sheeran, and I get to here, and all of a sudden he starts bending his weight forward, I'm not going to keep trying to take him that way. Doesn't make sense. Sheeran and I are pretty close to the same size. It's going to be a lot of work for me, and I still probably won't be able to do it. I'm going to tire myself out trying to make him go in a direction where the majority of his weight and energy is going the other way. Okay? So I'll say two things here. One, person that is feeding the technique, try not to do this just because it necessitates me changing what I'm going to do, right? And then two, understand that as the person that's trying to apply the technique, know that if this happens, I'm going to change where we're going. He wants to go forward, we'll go forward, right? If I feed this across here and I get this grip and I try to sit down like this, and Sharon all of a sudden starts hip hinging forward,
I don't have them already.
this is going to be really bad for him because I have both of his arms. And so now I would step this leg in front and I'm going to dump him forward this way, but he doesn't have his hands to break his fall. Okay? I'm going to let his hands go just so you can see. I just block this leg and I'm going to get heavy here. So if he's wanting to go this way because he feels what's happening and he changes the energy, two energies he can give me, push or pull. Okay? If all of a sudden he starts pulling away from me, okay, then let's go that way. I will push him to the ground. In this instance, it's really bad for him because if I've done the other parts right, he's in like a straitjacket. He has no access to his arms, and there's not going to be a break fall. Good or bad, there's not going to be a break fall. It's going to be a space that leads. Okay, so because I want us to get training on this more kind of modified valley drop, try partners that are feeding, try not to hip hinge. Try to keep either weight neutral or push back into them. As the person that's trying to do the technique, if I get here and I feel like Sheeran is going in a direction I don't want him to, maybe I'll start trying to run Sheeran forward like this, and as he tries to posture up, then I sit back. Right, so if I move him forward, he doesn't like that, he puts on the brakes, boom, now I can take him backwards. Okay, that makes sense? Questions, anybody? Everybody's good? We got this, 1,000%, no problem. Sweet. I'll take the deafening silence as an absolutely yes. Awesome. Okay. Same side feeding, other side, same side, trying to do the take now. Oh, 3. Woo!
Yeah, I would like. Good. Oh, yeah, okay. Which is. That's just really just for you. Okay. Yeah.
That was the mid, not my shoulder.
Some people got it.
I think about my hand and put it back together. One more minute.
Yeah, that was my house. Could not get
Start with just securing the grip and getting a few shots in. No takedown. Start with just securing your grip and getting a few shots in.
Time, switch. Switch it up. Switch it. No, what did you say? What was the first set of this?
Secure the grip.
Yeah.
Run a few punches, headbutts, whatever.
Secure the grip, run some punches, no takedown yet. No takedown yet. Just punches. I know, right? It's great. Yeah, she's got it. You got it.
Well, yeah. Like you ever feel like that? Like, you know, you can do these little things, and you're like, oh, I feel like this. You're probably, you know,
Probably have a grown up brain. Let me tell you something right now.
you'll never see it. That's a lot. I know they talk about like the three looks good, but mine's really cool. Well, that brain so cool. There is a. There is a.
Not break the hand.
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna train.
Yeah, that's okay. No,
Okay, time. So let's go to the takedown now.
Time adding in the takedown.
Go gonna drag. First grip, throw punches if you want. Second grip, throw punches if you want. Again, I might get here and I might throw some knees. I'm gonna go elbow over the top. Okay, I'm focusing on the wrestling because that's the thing that most of us need more work with. But understand, like at any of these intervals, I can throw in other stuff. Okay, even from here, little short shots, and then right back to my grip. And right back to my grip. Headbutts, knees, all these things. Kicks. Okay, stomps. All right. I'm I'm focusing on more the wrestling and the grips, but all of those things should be top of mind. Okay, use one to make the other one easier. So once I get to this grip, again, I throw a couple of shots. I'm going to pass this across. As I pass this across, the hand and the foot that are behind, in conjunction with each other, they both go. Boom. I'll take this or this, whatever I can get. Leg is straight. It's my hockey stick. It's going to block that foot. I'm going to sit straight down, turn. I'm going to sit straight down as I pull Dave to the floor. I'm going to sit up. Now look, because of the grips that I have, try to turn and face me. Okay. Generally speaking, when you hit the floor, a scramble ensues. Usually the more athletic person wins scrambles. Okay. Here, the grips allow you to neutralize some of that. Realistically, what Dave should do is try to face me. Right. But I have this grip underneath and on the far side, and this grip across. Even if I lost this one, turn into me. Obviously, I'm not going to just sit here and be like, nah, 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 nah. Right? And eventually, I'm going to want to do something else. Okay? But for this moment in time, I'm keeping him from turning and facing me. So, even if I'm a little slow on this, what's his next likely move? If he can't face me, what's his next? Yeah, go away from me. Sweep. I follow that. I'm chest to back now. I switch the grip. This is bad for me. Okay, yeah, this is not good. Okay. Questions? All right, on three. Woo!
Tigers.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It.
I sure miss kissing my floor.
Yes.
Not saying, yeah, sometimes it's. Oh, oh. But the nervous part is it's been. And it's because you're trying to. Right?
One minute. All right, time, switch.
Time, switch it.
The person feeding, just put the mitt on whatever your partner's dominant hand is for right now,
Switch it, dominant hand.
for the mitt holder. Dominant hand for the mitt. So we're gonna switch gears just a little bit. We're gonna come back to some of that stuff we were just doing, but we're gonna mix it up some. So if Sheer grabs my lapel, and he's gonna like look to throw a big punch here, okay? Now, obviously I've screwed up a lot just by allowing this to happen, but things happen, right? So I need to address this. The way we're gonna address it first is I'm gonna hit him before he gets me, okay? If you've done edge of reality stuff, you know that the reason I'm choosing this is because I'm not always long enough to be able to reach for this. Like again, Sheer and I are pretty close to the same size. Somebody a lot longer than me, I may not be able to get this punch in. This one I can almost always get, okay? So I'm gonna go boom here just to deal with that first punch. Now look, if I'm super late and he's already throwing, then I'm gonna have to cover my head, right? That just is what it is, okay? So if I'm so late that he got the lapel grab and he gets the punch off, I'm gonna cover, and then I'm going here. Wow. Okay? This elbow is completely blind, all right? He grabs the lapel, he throws. I cover. I'm stepping pinky toe to pinky toe. Okay? Be real careful here. I caught Sheeran in the first one. Obviously, I wasn't throwing hard, but still, elbows don't take a lot. If you cut somebody's eyebrow or cheekbone or something like that, it'll cut them. Okay? He grabs here. He throws. I'm covering. And look, as early as I can, off of that cover, boom, I'm stepping across. Okay? For your what next, if you need, you're just going to continue from here. I step across here, elbow, boom. There's my overhook. Okay? I just go to catch this for now. If you need a what next. Be really careful, start really slow. All right? 4, 3. Woo!
Yeah.
And then I don't know why the fuck they're not getting it. Not just gonna teach you once. Not good enough, but why can you do it twice?
I drop him. Like, you should, or I could elbow you. Sorry. I'm gonna break your
Alright, so let me show you why some of you are missing the elbow or why it's not gonna get to where it needs to go. And this is gonna be all the footwork, okay? So try to watch my feet as much as you can. When I'm here and I cover this punch and I step across and I hit that pinky toe step, if I continue to just step like this, okay, I let this foot swing on around with the elbow, don't move, just stay there, I'm not gonna hit you. See where my elbow is? It's nowhere near. If the angle is hard for you guys, I think, but there's a good 18 inches between the elbow and Sharon's face. If I let this foot swing with the elbow, I take myself out of position to hit the elbow. If I stand here like this, Sharon still has my grip. I stand here like this, I go over the top, and I just go, boom, in place, no footwork. I'm going to nail him. Watch my feet. Now my feet are going to move with the elbow. I miss. Okay? Let's go different. He throws. I cover pinky toe to pinky toe. Now it's my upper body rotation. If I step, I miss. No step. You can step after. But my first thing is, I'm going to hit him with that elbow. Here, I cover, boom. Bang! Now I can step. Now I'm going to get my underhook or overhook. Which one is better? I don't know, whichever one I get. Okay? And a lot of times this is going to depend on what he does. He probably lets go of that lapel grip. And then I might have to chase an arm, maybe. Or I just go to striking. Right? If he totally bails on all of it, he's like, this, right? He grabs, I cover, I go here, and I go bang, and he lets go. Okay, well, now I go back to striking. And then maybe I run away. Okay. They're all in New Jersey. They're running. There's cameras and shit. They going to jail.
Even if it's New Yorkers.
Yeah, same thing. All right. Let's try it. Same side. Okay. No step with the elbow. Step after the elbow. Okay. All three. Woo!
Can't have a knife. Can't protect. You can't have a knife. Okay, I can. It's California. It's a little.
I mean, they don't even allow them to pump their own gas, so they're definitely not gonna.
You can't pump your own.
They're definitely not gonna trust them with guns.
Like that. But yeah, I mean, really was protecting somebody. Like when he's like, stop. He's being how it's like when you get you like you know obviously. Well, so that's the one. Yeah. With Carolina, North Carolina. Like if I could, if you were from whatever, and I could walk along, go, yeah, then I don't have. Some states you do.
But I guess, I mean, that's what we teach, is you should, somebody would take it on, right, well, yeah, of when you don't follow.
Time, let's switch. Let your partner work this same thing. Switch and let your partner work this same thing.
Time switch.
Didn't get me out. Tell you, I'm not gonna make the wrong look like. Yeah, maybe you can fix it wrong. But I'm just gonna do it. Yes, because if it wasn't, it would provide. Hotel, that makes it really, I'm gonna have to tell, right? What, well, I thought you could come here. Well, I'm like, I can understand.
Time. Okay.
Time. Oh, they hear you.
Let's switch and stay with that single mitt on the more dominant hand for now. So I started talking about this earlier. If I'm a little early and he makes that single lapel grab, and maybe he's going to hit me, but I preempt by getting there first. Okay, I throw my own shot first. This time, instead of this one being the one that goes across this post or frame, this one's gonna do it. Now it might come with a punch too. I might go here and then punch over the top and then let that swim for my underhook. Or I might just go straight to the overhook. I mean the underhook as I chop over the top. Same way we just did. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do here is instead of stopping for a more traditional overhook, I'm gonna reach across the back here, okay? Grabbing material. As I get this, I'm gonna go grab this sleeve, okay? If it's more towards the bicep and elbow, if it's more towards the wrist, I'll take what I can get, okay? Probably gonna headbutt him. I'm gonna step in, 1, 2. Now, that looks like a lot more than it is, okay? The basic principles are I need to get my hips into my partners and below them, okay? There's a couple of different things that we can do with the feet. For the most part on this one, I'm gonna try to get my feet inside of my partners. They don't have to be. There are plenty of people that can get here and just kind of pull them around the leg. So it's high amplitude versus low amplitude. If I want to get him some air time, my feet are going to be closer together. I'm going to bend my knees, get under his hips, and lift as I pull. If I don't care about the air time, then I can go with a wider base. All right? He grabs, bang, over the top. I swim. Boom. Boom. And step in. 1, 2. And judo is fitting in. I'm looking to fit in. Okay? Which has never been a thing for me in my whole life. But don't think about it as your personality. Think about it as your body, okay? My hips need to be into Sheeran and below his. 1, 2. I bend my knees. Now, I'm gonna pick my partner up, but I'm using my legs to do it. And look, they don't need to be off the floor much. Now this one, I'm pulling. One more time. He grabs. Pop, pop. Swim. Good head position. 1, 2. Stand up. As you stand up, bring him around your hips. Side fall break. If you want a more low amp version, setup's all the same. But now I'm going to step wider like this here, and I'm literally just going to kind of pull him around my hip. Okay. Very similar throw. The throw's not going to do damage though. I want the throw to do damage if I can. So if I get my hips into him and below his, get him some air time. All right. See it again, or are we good?
We good. You keep a hold. Keep a hold of it.
Yeah, I'm pulling. I'm pulling the sleeve. When I get to here, I'm pulling this. As I lift up, I pull. Because I can go right back to what we did a second ago. Where I go here. Now I'm right back to the gift wrap. And I kept the grip, same grip the whole time. I can sit him up. Ooh. Okay. All right. Oh, 3. Woo! Younger than me.
Okay. It's just a little bit. You look super young.
Uh-huh.
Not even great.
How are your break calls?
Not that. They'll do it on me off. We might act like us.
I say. Let me describe that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, that's right. Here.
Thanks, Sharon. The next one's gonna be a little bigger.
That's so funny. Fall. I forgot. I just panicked. I was trying to throw myself over so you can do it. I got. Oh. Don't brace yourself. Still need a break. I know.
Something is I always get like two.
That's awful. I wanna get I mean.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Cause that one goes really. So it's like, I'm sorry.
Remember, everybody out there in Zoom land, if you want to get more height on the throw, narrow your feet. If your feet are inside of theirs, you're gonna get more air time. If they're outside, it's fine. You can finish the takedown, no problem. But if you want to get more lift, bring your feet inside of theirs.
I'm not gonna ask. I was gonna say don't. All right, good deal. I have to do things.
Time switch. Switch it up.
So.
Right. You want to be more back to chest with her. You're staying kind of sideways. If you think about getting this hip all the way to that.
Yes. So like I'm like left hand. Yes. No,
Yeah, I mean, it's not there, not there. But also, you could probably, like, if I was here. I'm feeling like, all right, well, I'm staying on this here.
Oh,
That elbow pass, yeah. Take that out.
I would really don't. Thank you.
I'm gonna stop at there, because if I have to, you know, if I did the ball get full up, I'll just stop at it. I don't mind. Like going.
I'm not. It just happened.
All right, time. You can take all of the gear off, gloves and mitts off. Don't put them away. We'll probably use them again. But let's use some of these same things to set up some standing choke strings. So, and this could be off the same thing that we just did here. It could even be if it feels like a two-hand lapel grab or even a two-hand choke, where I'm going here, I'm doing the same thing, okay? I'm gonna come over the top like this. I'm gonna swim in here. Good head position, good inside head control here. I'm going for the same single underhook. I've got good head position. Maybe I get the wrist, maybe I get the far side bicep, whatever. I'm gonna look to go inside trip here, right? Just like we did on the first takedown, I want to make him heavy on that far side leg so he's light on this one. Going inside, little trip here. I'm going to release the sleeve, and it's going to go in front of his collar. Okay, so I'm going thumb inside, and then I'm bunching up as much material as I can get. And I'll show this a couple different ways here, like this. Now, as I get my posture back, I'm going to wing this over Sheeran's head and drop this elbow down. Okay. I don't know if you could hear, but he went. Yep. So I can't be loud. I've got my underhook. Okay. If he's already here like this, where his feet are staggered, I may not need to go inside trip. I can go from the wrist tie or the bicep tie, a little bit of a snap, just so I can get above his head. I want to get my head above his. So I'm going to release this, and it goes here. As I get my posture back, I'm going to swim this over the top. Okay, so I'm taking my elbow from one side to the other side. Now you can't see, but this is the grip that I have. Okay, it's thumb inside. I'm going to have Sharon just stand up for a second so you can see. So thumb inside. I'm grabbing as much material as I can. I'm going to have him stay standing because I think it's easier to see. I'm going to go around his head like this. Then I'm going to drop this elbow down. Okay? Now look, if you don't have the underhook, they'll spin out. Okay? Which as long as I know that, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like if we were in here and we were just wrestling and whatever, and I get this, and go over time, I know he's gonna spin. As long as I know that, it's okay. But I would, if I'm gonna finish the choke, I would rather finish the choke. So I've got the underhook, wrist or bicep tie. Boom, I want to get above Sheeran's head. This grip goes to here. I'm going to drop my elbow down. I've got as much material bunched up as I can. Keep the overhook. Drop the elbow. There's the tap. This should be fast. If you have it, they should tap really quickly, okay? Partners, tap your partner. Don't tap the floor. Don't tap yourself. Tap your partner, all right? We're good to try? All right, on three. Woo!
So it finds level, so that like if I let your tracks goes, but if you leave it on and set it down, it's trying to like backward wants to go.
We back and forth or?
Yeah, you can go like 3 for 3 on this one since we don't have gear.
At some point, I'm just gonna have you go more rude with Sharon on this one.
Sharon's gonna hate you.
I know. Those are small clips.
You guys have questions? You have questions? You good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so time. Amber, I need you.
Okay.
For this.
You're just rehashing details, yeah.
Well, but you have an open lapel,
Ah.
so that changes things. So time real fast. If you have an open lapel or hoodie like my man in the red, okay, it's gonna change things just a little bit. Now I will say this. I would probably just grab the t-shirt. Okay. If that's a t-shirt you don't like getting stretched, then don't do it. But this choke works really well. No, you can leave it open because I'm going to show you how to do it even with that open lapel. But if I was going to go to the t-shirt, it would be the exact same thing. Thumb inside, bunch of as much material as you can, and do the same thing. It'll work fine with the t-shirt. Okay. But if it's more of an open lapel, and I've got this, and I'm going to make this same choke, instead of going far side lapel and looping like this, I'll go near side lapel. The lapel that's closest to me, here. And then I'll loop that. Okay? Now I'll drop this down. Here. Okay? And you can be a little looser with this. With the hoodie, you got more play. Like with this gi top, I don't have as much play. So I may go a little bit looser, a little lower. Here. You think about the material like it's a rope. And the more material you bunch up and the more slack you take out of it, the tighter everything is and the faster it happens. So if it's an open lapel like this, I'll take the lapel that's closest to me. That's what I'm going to loop around. And then I'll drop that elbow down. Again, if it's me, I would just grab the t-shirt. It works great. I would do it the same way. Thumb inside, 4 fingers here, a drop. Same thing. Okay, so that was with the t-shirt. I just want to let you know because like my hoodie's open. There's a couple of people in here with gi tops. It will matter a little bit more in that case. Okay. All right, let's keep drilling it another minute or so. 1, 3.
I got shaky hands. I'm not gonna let him out.
Said to make it easy.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I know, that's okay.
I tried.
You did great. Look, we were in the frame for that whole thing. I'm proud of you.
I think it's gonna break. It's gonna be shaky. It's good. That's why I do this and have my back.
You can go, Rich. It's right. Let's go slow.
I'll give you a break for a second. Sharon, how you feeling? You doing good?
Yeah.
Good, I'm gonna change that just a second. That's 60% again. That's 60% that we lost.
I also have a
I
start.
don't know, 100%. I mean, not on me. Yeah. And Brian, give her. Well, no, you're right. Like, you do it. You know, he doesn't listen to our whole set. He did not ever.
Okay, time. Let's look at a quick variation of this, and this one will be kind of specific to if there's a hood or not. So we just kind of start in the same spot. If I'm here and I've done all these things, I've broken the posture and whatever, I grab the hood, same thing. I'm gonna whip that all the way around. Okay, but now I'm just using this hood. I'm gonna grab the hood, I go here, I drop the elbow down. Okay, so maybe I'm struggling to get in here. He's got his chin tucked or whatever. If his chin is tucked, this won't help. Okay, or it won't help with this. So if I go here, I grab the hood, I wrap the hood around. Even if his chin is down like this, I can sneak that in. Okay, now I drop the elbow the same way. And look, I can use this as a control too. You could, yep. So I'm gonna loosen up here just so you can see. I can use this as a control as well. As I continue to choke, I can start running here into the floor here. I can finish the choke from standing. I've got this. I can start walking this across there. Now I can grab the clothing here. His options suck. Okay. I still have the choke. I have shoulder lock here. This is like.
Amber, can you do the initial step number one closer to the camera, please? When you are from the top, making the top control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you do that? Exactly. There we go. Yeah.
So when I'm here,
Yes.
Same head position, all of this, but I'm going to grab the hood this time instead of the front of the collar. So as I grab the hood, I'm going to swim it around here. Then I drop the elbow the same way as you did on the collar. I'm doing this. Now I drop. So I'm going to take the hood and turn it into a rope. Grab it same side. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Drop your elbow down. I saw a thumbs up, so I think that's good. Nice. Take it the other way, Giancarlo. Take it the other way. Yeah. There you go. All right, time. So we don't have a lot of time left. Questions on anything that we've done or anything that we didn't do? I've got a drill or two I want us to do, but if there's questions on anything that we drilled or anything that we didn't drill that you would like to see, the thing with this is like we could do this all weekend. You know, we just did, I don't know, half a dozen things from standing. There's a whole lot. We could spend a whole weekend on this stuff. So questions on anything we did or did not do before we drill it? Okay.
Time. Time.
Like there's clothing that this won't. Is that fair to say? Tank tops.
Dave's asking if there's clothing this won't work on.
I mean,
Can we
I
adapt
took the shit out of somebody with a tank.
Okay.
So well, it's gonna modify a little bit because it doesn't give as much,
Mhm.
but that can also work to my advantage that it doesn't give as much. There are grips that I can use with a dress shirt that I can't use with more loose fitting stuff. So it'll modify it. I'll have to modify some things. The sleeve grips, pretty much that's gonna stay the same, unless they're really tight, you know. And I can't bunch up some material. But then even with those kind of sleeves, I can usually, instead of going outside like this, I go 4 fingers inside here. I just go 4 fingers on this. If I can't bunch up a lot of material on the outside, I go here instead. So the small modifications, I can make most of this work with other clothing. Now, if it's, you know, compression clothes or something like that, rash guard kind of thing, I just got to wrestle, strike, punch,
And these are all IBJJ.
yeah, of course,
IBJJ,
100%, yes. Okay. So let's drill a little bit. So I want this to kind of be competitive and cooperative. So I'm not going to necessarily just let my partner do anything that they want. I'm going to offer them some energy, some resistance, but I'm not really fighting them. Okay. If you have the smaller gloves, I want everybody to put them on. And what's going to happen is one side is looking to secure different grips and grabs, and the other side is looking to deal with those grips and grabs. Really slow, really controlled. If you want to do takedowns, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I will say, in my experience, most of the time, injuries don't happen because of the takedowns. They happen because of fighting the takedowns. Okay. So in a training environment like this, where we're doing slow work, easy work, let your partner hit the takedown. It's okay. Again, we're cooperative and moderately competitive, but it's not a fight. And I'm not gonna put gear on just to save us time, but if Sharon's the one that's initiating grabs and I'm just looking to punch, he can move me around and kind of snap me and whatever. And maybe I just keep looking to hit him and touch him up. You can switch your grips, whatever. I keep hitting him, I keep looking to touch him up. Boom. At some point I get some kind of grip. Maybe I move to the back. I get to the position to take him down, and I'll decide whether I do or not. We go right back to standing. He makes another grip, another grab. I start looking to hit. I get my underhooks, my far side controls. Boom. There's my choke. We reset. We go again. Just nice, light, easy work. That makes sense? One side is feeding the grips the whole time. The other side is striking and or fighting the grips with just some basic wrestling. Okay, I will switch roles. All right. Okay. Woo!
Want to do first? Your turn next.
He's trying to make a grip. That's it. A little something.
Time. Quick with the other side work. Let the other side feed.
Time, switch, switch.
Let the other side feed. Let's work.
Probably can do that.
Time.
Appreciate it.
Time. All right. Questions, concerns, problems, solutions? I don't know.
When are we doing a whole weekend of this, Rye?
I have a whole curriculum for it.
Count me in.
So I mean, the standing stuff alone, we could spend a whole weekend on, but obviously there's a whole series of ground stuff too. I focus mostly on the wrestling part of it tonight. We could do a lot more striking as well.
Love it.
You get good at one, and then it's much easier to plug in the other.
Great stuff. It was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys. You guys, Carl, are you good? John Carl,
Right, it's more about how do you make the progression? That is, sometimes you don't see this thing is on one side or it's not on the other, or it's the shirt, or it's how do you see the progressions working? Is it from, I would say, regular clothes to more complicated or less complicated? Because not everyone in the street uses the rash guard. We are not like, John Donner or whatever.
Yeah.
But how do you see the progressions working, and where do you have like something that we can reference? Because it's a very interesting work.
Yeah. So we generally take it from just a basic wrestling perspective first. So like even today, where we started with the arm drags and the head clears and the Russian arms and that kind of stuff with no apparel grips and kind of that kind of thing. Once people have a good understanding of those basic concepts and principles, then we start adding in the different grips and attacks off the grips and the striking and whatnot. Like our grounded program, as people progress through that, it starts adding in the apparel, because the reality is, like, you hear people say, well, gi is not realistic for the street. I would contend it's more realistic than no gi, because like you said, most people are not running around wearing rash guards. They wear jackets, they wear hoodies, even t-shirts. T-shirts can be super effective for controls and strangles if I know how to use them. And the way to think about that is, like, if you just took a cotton t-shirt and just threw it over a pull-up bar and tried to pull up with it, it's going to stretch and tear and whatever. But if you roll it up and do the same thing, it'll hold most of us, at least for a minute in time. If I understand how to do the same thing with the material in a fight, whether it's on the ground or whether it's standing, I can use a t-shirt really well to my advantage. And then when you start adding in lapels and hoods and sleeves and that kind of stuff, for me, it's very similar to what we talk about when we do wall work. Well, if I view the wall as a problem, then the wall is a problem. If I view the wall as an opportunity, then the wall is an opportunity, or at least a potential for one. This is the same. As soon as somebody grabs my clothing, I know at least one of their hands is tied up. Both of my hands are free. So I can use the striking to set up the wrestling and whatnot. But I have to get really comfortable with just the basic clinch work, I think, first. Because the reality is, in fights, people grab. Self-defense, whatever, they grab clothing. Whether they know anything about fighting or not.
So would you integrate the hockey wrestling fighting as a combination of post wrestling, post basic striking for this to be like a block, a big block on how do you strike within? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So get good at the fundamentals of the moves and movements without the material, and then plug the material in. Cool. Other questions? Did you guys have fun?
We did. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.
Just to let you know, we are also New Jersey, and New Jersey could be the center of the world. Just
I've been there.
Maybe the fall.
Once. I taught a course there one time. I haven't been back. So Mike up here is from Jersey, and I like to give him hell about the state. So it's fun for me. I don't know about for him, but I don't really care.
I love it. That's why it made me want to move down there. I'm done.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, have a great weekend. Glad to have you back, man. Miss you guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Thank you,
See
guys.
you later, Amber. Bye.